If you're an anime only, stop watching this video now. I will be spoiling the manga of The Promised Neverland, so if you don't want to hear me speak about the manga, get the hell out of here. Now, let's begin. Talking about this topic kind of reminds me of when I had to make the Gabby Did Nothing Wrong video. Much like how the Attack on Titan fandom treats Gabby, the Promised Neverland fans seem to ignore certain aspects of Emma's character, all in order to justify their slander. I didn't think I had to be the one to do this, but here I am today in defense of Emma, whose name has been sullied by folk that don't know what the hell they're talking about. And before I get down, I want to say this first. One's dislike of a character doesn't have to be rooted in some major flaw within the character in question. You can harbor hatred for a character for any arbitrary reason. It could be because of their design, their voice, the fan base behind them, whatever. I do not give a fuck. My problem isn't someone saying they dislike Emma. My issue is someone saying Emma is a bad character because of their preferences. This video is not really a character analysis, it's a response to the heat Emma has got in the past and still is for some odd reason. So, allow me to jump headfirst into the source of people's ire with Emma, chapter 122. Before this chapter, Norman exposes his desire to annihilate all of the demons so that humans can live in peace, to the joy of everyone except for Emma. Ray, in the next chapter, being someone who is in tune with Emma's emotions, calls out Emma to express her true feelings about Norman's plan. That is when Emma says the infamous, "I don't want to kill the demons" line. Ever since this chapter, Emma has been called idiotic, a goofy, a clown, all kinds of insults. So I want to take the time to dissect this particular moment and add the proper context to show why many people blew this panel way out of proportion. And keep in mind, when it comes to Emma's ideology, I'm not even someone who agrees with her most of the time. I lean more towards Ray and Norman's thinking. They view the world in a cynical manner, which I think is appropriate considering their circumstance, while Emma views the world in a wishful manner. However, while I disagree with Emma a lot, that isn't reason enough to call her a bad character. Either way, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and try to get into the perspective of an Emma hater. Emma saying she doesn't want to kill the demons is foolish and unrealistic. Emma's family has been raised as cattle by the demons in the farms. They have been pursued by demons in the forest. They have been hunted as sport by demons in Goldie Pond. This story has made it clear that demons and humans cannot coexist with each other. There is a history of violence that cannot be erased between these two species. What the fuck would Emma think it's a good idea to keep the demons alive after all she's been through? That's usually what I hear from people who dislike that Emma scene. The hate stems from the belief that Emma's thought process is out of bounds considering what the demons have done to her. To these people, it makes no sense for Emma to forsake Norman's demon annihilation plan because of the risk involved. So, why doesn't Emma want to kill the demons? The relationship between both Sonju and Mujika and Emma is one that cannot be understated. It is integral to Emma's decision for multiple reasons. Those two taught Emma's party how to hunt, gave them the rundown on the history of the world, and saved them from demons pursuing them. To Emma, Sonju and Mujika serve as examples that there can be good demons. Not only that, but because Sonju and Mujika don't eat humans, they also serve as a reminder that demons do not need to eat humans. This is very important because it gives Emma the idea that if she figures something out, the demons wouldn't feel the need to eat humans and she could avoid bloodshed on both sides. Lastly, Emma is close with Sonju and Mujika. She doesn't want to eradicate the race of the people she calls friends. Even more than that, since Norman's plan is the total extermination of all demons, no exceptions, Sonju and Mujika will also be casualties, which Emma would not want, obviously. Going off another outlook, the reason why Emma is opposed to killing the demons is because of how she views the demons in general. Post Goldie Pond, Emma was able to venture out to the society of demons where she saw them living as humans do. While Emma still saw demons eating humans, it was brought up in a non-malicious light. These demons were not viciously killing off humans, they were simply surviving. The demons, like Emma, had families. They had people they wanted to protect. They needed to put food on the table. It just so happened that humans were a part of the diet. The main takeaway from Emma's time in demon society is that demons are not so much different from humans. I will admit though, I don't think She-Ra did a good job of making us readers empathize with the demons enough. This impacted how some felt about Emma's decision because in our eyes, the demons are murder machines with no redeeming qualities. It's hard to look at them as anything else and say they are worth sparing when there wasn't enough focus on humanizing the demons. Even when looking at Sonju and Mujika, you could just chuck them up as anomalies. So while I do think She-Ra fumbled in that regard, that doesn't change Emma's perspective, which was made abundantly clear. Emma doesn't want to be eaten. Emma doesn't want to kill all of the demons. What she wants is a third option so that she can avoid both of those outcomes. So my question to the Emma haters is, what is the issue with that? Emma chose to not immediately go to the extreme of total annihilation. It's not something you can half-ass. It cannot be reversed. Once it's done, it's done. I don't see why Emma not wanting to make a radical move like Norman's is bad on her character. Emma wants to walk a pacifist path. She always has, and there is nothing wrong with that. Moreover, people need to pick up on a key word. This is Emma's want, not what she is ultimately willing to do. Emma never said that she would not kill demons. For some reason, some people fail to understand this. When it comes to survival, Emma would choose herself and her family every single time. Look at chapter 49 when Emma went hunting with Sonju. Emma knows that in order to survive, she will need to be able to kill living animals. She shoots a bird and kills it, and as you can see it on her face, it's not something she is comfortable doing. I'm sure Emma did not want to kill the bird, but it's a necessity for her and her family to live. Going even further back to the Gracefield arc, what did Emma initially want to do? She wanted to liberate every single kid in the farm, not just the people she actually escaped with. However, because Emma taking all of the kids with her would have spelled doom for everyone, she did not do it. She wanted to, but she didn't. Fast forward to the Search for Minerva arc. Emma pleaded for Yugo's assistance in the pursuit of Minerva. But since Yugo at this point was hostile, he refused Emma's offer and threatened her life. But Emma insisted on the deal she offered, clapping back with a threat of her own to blow up the entire shelter if Yugo did not take the deal. Emma wants to join forces with Yugo, but if negotiations break down, she has a backup plan in place, which might be undesirable, but to her, it's better than being eaten by the demons. Going to the Goldie Pond arc, Emma tries to talk to Luvis in hopes of resolving their conflict without fighting. Emma did not want to kill Luvis, but that didn't stop her from letting a chopper sing to that motherfucker when he made it clear he wouldn't stop killing. My point is that from the beginning, Emma is someone who is willing to make compromises. She will try to get the best outcome no matter how idealistic it is, but that does not mean that she is detached from reality. Going back to the I don't want to kill the demons moment, when I read that chapter and chapters following it, which was after the series had already ended, I was confused that people still latching onto that moment as a reason to hate Emma because of what happened afterwards. Emma acknowledges that Norman's plan makes logical sense. She understands that her choice could jeopardize the entirety of the human race on the demon side of the world. Emma can't just say, I don't want to kill all of the demons and leave it at that. She has to come up with a plan of her own in order to contest Norman's, which she did, and in retrospect, worked. And even if you believe that the end does not justify the means because of how little the chance the plan had of succeeding in the first place, I go back to my previous statement on Emma. She makes compromises. Emma tells Norman in chapter 128, all she wants to do is try to make a new promise so that Norman can rethink his eradication plan. She doesn't want to go through with Norman's plan, but had she failed to make a new promise, then Emma would have to fall in line with Norman. Emma is not unreasonable. She realizes that she was being selfish and that her stance is based on emotion. If you remember what happened in chapter 121, Emma didn't even want to speak up about how she felt about the extermination plan because she knew how off-putting it sounded. Emma is completely self-aware, so despite me not agreeing with her line of thinking, I still think her character is great. She is actually conflicted on what route to take, her faults are left bare to us, yet and still, Emma is willing to go against the grain and be herself. Even if it's a long shot, Emma will take it, but she isn't stupid enough to not have a contingency plan in place. I'm going to go off on a tangent, but since I'm already talking about Emma, let's go all the way, because everyone acts as if Ray and Norman are playing 3D chess while Emma is playing checkers with chess pieces. I want to highlight key moments where without Emma, shit could have gone over much worse. First, the Gracefield arc. Remember how Emma's group were able to escape because of the plan to set the house on fire? Well, if you do, you would know that originally Ray was planning to burn alongside the house. To keep Isabella fully occupied, the tracker in Ray's ear needed to show that he was still in the house, and there needed to be the smell of burning flesh. So Ray devised that he would set himself ablaze for the plan to work, but Emma put this to a halt and instead cut the ears off of both her and Ray and had a substitute in place to replicate the smell of someone burning. Without Emma's idealistic view of wanting to keep Ray alive and avoid his sacrifice, despite the situation seemingly demanding it, Ray would have died, which would have been a significant blow to Emma's escapee group moving forward. Let's look at someone like Hugo. Initially, because of the threat Hugo posed to the lives of both him and Emma, Ray wanted to kill him. Emma, however, thought of the best outcome, which was for them to get to know Hugo and possibly become allies with him. Emma kept pressing Hugo and implored him to spill his guts and try to act friendly since they were both on the same side. Considering how antagonistic Hugo was to both Ray and Emma, it was understandable why Ray felt like he needed to go, but because Emma did not resort to such drastic measures, Hugo became an ally so invaluable that without his aid in Goldie Pond and beyond, Emma's group would have been killed without a doubt. Emma isn't perfect. She has been right on occasions, she has been wrong on others, but to dismiss her character because of this specific moment you didn't agree with her is asinine. Look at the moment in its proper context. Look at Emma's history and her track record. Emma has been a consistent character defined by her optimistic leadership. Why is it that when Emma chose to not stray away from who she is fundamentally, that people had a problem? Emma isn't Ray or Norman. She doesn't view the world through jaded eyes. Emma is someone who can give hope to others because she remains the same person even amongst the harsh realities of the world. Her unwavering nature is a charm to her character, not a curse. Say whatever about how The Promised Neverland ended, but don't try to associate the series' fall with Emma. When you talk about Emma, you better come correct.
Tasting your soul, you're not in control, just giving you goals. Scared of your past, the future is close. The start is the end is a start. They both are the same, can't tell them apart. Nigga, that's cuz the intro was the outro.